Minister for Agriculture and Water Resources. Will the Deputy Prime Minister update the House on the Coalition Government's commitment to strong border security policies, including our biosecurity policies? How are pistol and boo, and what are the consequences of adopting alternate approaches?
The Deputy Prime Minister has the call.
Mr Speaker, I thank the honourable member for his question, and obviously in an area where he has cattle himself or in a horticultural area, he's very aware of the requirements of biosecurity. And it was very important that on us becoming the government, on this side becoming the government, we had to refurbish the department with the money required to run biosecurity, because the Labor Party, the Greens and the Independents had decimated the budget. They had more than halved the agricultural department's budget, and we had to find close to $200 million to put into the biosecurity section to give ourselves those stronger borders, which are so vitally important. And it's vitally important because, as we know, if a disease such as foot and mouth was to come in, not only would it close the cattle industry down, the sheep industry down, the wool industry down, the goat industry down, the pig industry down, but also put out of work the meat workers, the transport union workers. It would be absolutely devastating for shearers. It would be cataclysmic in regional areas, and it would reverberate amongst the city as well. But it's not just foot and mouth. It's also screw fly, it's exotic wheat stem disease. It's also rabies, and we're trying to make sure that we keep these diseases out of our nation. And the way we keep them out of our nation, of course, is that we have a proper vetting process at the border. But unfortunately, at times, some people decide to go around that vetting process and to make their own arrangements. And in the past, this nation has had the experience of people literally arriving at the beaches south of where the member for Page resides, arriving at Scott's Head, literally walking off the boat and start walking down the street. We had them arriving at Geraldton. They arrived at Geraldton, where they basically just walked back onto the beach. They arrived at Bamaga dressed in suits and asked for if they could catch a taxi to Sydney. This was a bizarre position which Australia was placed in, and we had to do something about it. And that is why we are asking for stronger border security. And when we have stronger borders, then we have the capacity to be compassionate, like we will see tonight on Australian Story, where we welcome refugees from Rwanda and into my electorate in New England. But we have a test. We have a test for the Labor Party. Is the Labor Party going to stand by their own commitment that they gave to the Australian people at the last election, that they were working basically on a unity ticket with us, a unity ticket in such a way that we will have strong borders? Because people who come in illegally, not only do they come in illegally, but the diseases that might be with them in an unvetted way, they also come in with them. Now we have to do something about that. And if we want that ambiguity removed, if we want to be decisive, if we want to see strong leadership, if we want to see the proper sense that the person Mr Shorten, the member for Maribyrnong, was before the election, is still the same person he is after the election, then he has that chance. He has that chance. And rather than looking at the clock, you should look at your ticker.